Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 13 of Let Me Ask You a Question, the weekly podcast that answers questions that probably won't get answered by people who don't know anything. And there is no better way to start your Wednesday than with us. I am the Vin Man. What's going on, everybody? With me, actually, this week is a full house. We have everybody's in attendance, plus one. So what's going on? How's everybody doing? Jeff, what's up?
Hey, I'm back. My cells have regenerated. I am not dead. Great to be here.
Yeah, I missed you. It's nice to have you back in the studio. Your presence here last week was sorely. It was sore. Left us sore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah.
Dom.
Hey, back from hanging out with Johnny Bravo.
Ah.
I had the cops called on us several times because there was a handsome man looking in the mirror.
I forgot I said he was kidnapped by Johnny Bravo.
Well, I can see that you're sitting on a cushion, so I'm sure you had fun.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. Danielle, what's going on?
Not a bunch. I actually have a question for Dom. I've always wanted to know, what does Johnny Bravo use in his hair?
Oh, he uses like some weird like avocado like glue honey mixture.
Wow.
I think
All right.
I think it's actually a product of Jeff's because I saw Bender Science written on there and I was like, wow, that was impressive.
How big is his wang?
Well, I'm not at a. I signed an NDA, so I can't disclose that information. Sorry.
Damn it.
And also, I mean, Rob.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking fantastic.
I'm always looking fantastic.
Would you just roll out of bed?
Well, I carry a mirror in front of me at all times.
Oh, you do?
This way, it's either you insult or compliment yourself.
Oh, fantastic. And, of course, the guest today, the Average Joe. What's going on?
The Average Joe, also the Virgin podcaster over here.
Ah, your first time?
First time. Thank you for popping the cherry and letting me be on the show.
No, it's okay. Somebody get this guy a towel. He's sweating. Look at him over
Well,
here.
he
Don't
can
be
use
nervous.
what Dom's sitting on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely do that. So, how was your guys' day? Everybody had a pretty good day? I had off today, and it was fantastic. And literally, the only thing I did all day was play Destiny.
I'm a little insulted because I was off today and didn't even get a call, invite, nothing.
Ah, well, I didn't know you play.
I mean, I have been playing pretty recently, and I kind of want to ask everyone right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's here. Are you guys still gaming?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What are you guys playing right now?
I've been playing a lot of Destiny. I'm surprised Vinny didn't send me a
We
fire
got
team invite.
Two
Were you off today?
Destiny
I wasn't off
failures.
today.
Oh, well, no. Okay, I feel like a piece of shit now.
Yeah,
to be honest
what's up with that, man?
I don't know. And it's a multiplayer game too.
It is
I
a
mean,
multiplayer game.
The best multiplayer
Games
game.
played with your friends are the best.
I hated Destiny, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Well, why do you like
don't-
Destiny?
Personally, I like Destiny. I like Destiny because I like the loot grind. For whatever reason, I enjoy like the
Just
chase.
play Diablo.
It's different. I like first person shooters, so Diablo is not a first person shooter.
But Destiny was more of like a first-person melee-a-thon. Right, Jeff? Didn't you play it? You played it with your girlfriend, right?
Yeah, I ran through the single player, and then I'm like, well, this is probably one of the most boring games I've ever played, and put it down. That was it.
Joe, didn't you play Destiny?
Yeah, I started with Generation 1. Honestly, it was supposed to be this.
Oh, Generation 1, he had to be better than us.
Yeah.
Cool.
True, I had to throw that in there. Well, it branched off of Halo, and that's pretty much where it got its origins. And it was supposed to be the thing that beat Halo, and it was fun and lost its life over time.
I'm so
Defend yourself, Vinny.
Yeah.
You
I
look
am
insulted.
so hurt by that.
Vinny doesn't know how to defend himself.
No, because it should speak for itself. I shouldn't need to defend Destiny.
I don't think Destiny should speak for itself.
What?
Because Destiny has done things wrong. I play the game all the time because I'm a huge fan and I love it. But I'm not going to say that they've never done anything wrong.
Okay,
They've
they're
done plenty wrong in the eyes of the community.
definitely they're not flawless. I 100% I agree with you, but I just feel like there's no other game out there that I like. I could throw on and play hours on end unless
Hours?
it's a deep RPG where
Destiny's
I'm like,
not a deep RPG.
no. Unless it's like a deep RPG, I feel like Destiny you could just throw on and it's an all day game. Like it's the loot grind, the armor, setting up your guy, the sparrows.
Once you get to a point, though, you have most of the top end gear, and you're just playing the same
They've-
5 missions over and over again.
They've truly expanded on like the end game content. Like at the beginning, D1 Vanilla Destiny was like super stale at the end. Like there was nothing to do other than PvP. So like that's where it lost a lot of players because it was like now what there's to do. Like there was a raid and that was it.
Now, we're sounding very sweaty, meaty men. And I know Danielle played this game too. So please stop the sweaty, meaty men from talking about Destiny right now. What did you think?
No, I agree with Joe. Okay, so for me, loot
Joe, did you hear that
grinding-
someone agrees with you?
It's very rare, I guess.
You say very rare?
Very.
Oh.
Very, very. No, I don't know. Like the loot grind for me, it's like the opposite. I get bored after a while because I feel like it's like the same iteration of the initial weapon. You're like, oh, a shinier gun for me to get. Oh, perfect. Let me just like trap my soul in this game for 6 hours. But I do like playing multiplayer games and like online multiplayer, like especially team-based, class-based games. So I did play Destiny for a while, but I don't know. I kind of got bored after a while.
I can definitely see how like a lot of people fall out. You know.
Well,
Fallout? Fallout was terrible. Don't talk about Fallout.
76 is this.
Well, actually, to
86.
clarify, I'm actually all about loot grinding. Borderlands, Warframe, Destiny have always been about the loot grind, trying to get the highest tier weapon with the best stats and re-rolling it till you get the best stats.
So let me ask you a question. When was the last time you played Destiny?
Probably 2 months ago.
So do you have all the expansions?
Yes.
And you've done everything?
Except for the newest trial.
Trial of
Trial?
Django Unchained.
Whatever the new trial is.
That's the new
The
trial,
new
right?
raid?
New raid, sorry, new
Okay.
raid, yeah.
Oh, so you're not like
So you still actively play?
Yeah.
If you
I
played
mean,
2 months
months.
ago, I mean, like,
we're still brothering.
I just
And
want to say,
I can realize that it's really fallen off.
I just want to say, you guys are talking and looking at him like this is a cult, and you're like, well, when
Well-
was the last time you took a cup of our Savior?
well, no,
Destiny?
I just like because people say like, oh yeah, I've like Danielle. When was the last time you played Destiny? Like,
I don't know.
So,
Like at
like-
least 6 months ago.
I think a game like that's always ever changing. Like, you can't just be like, oh, like there's points where it sucked and it was like I didn't play for months at a time because it was terrible.
I will say though, let me go back to what you said about being in a cult. When I
yeah, of course.
I want to be in a cult.
when I talk to somebody else and I find out that they play Destiny, it's like a door opens up, and then you guys start talking about like, oh, yeah, well, what class do you play as? Are you a Titan? Are you a Warlock? You know, and then you kind of get there's like a kinship all of a sudden that
There's this
forms.
Wow, you
But-
like bad games
friendship.
too.
No.
No.
But if I say like, oh, you play Call of Duty, and it's like, yeah, and then it ends. Like when Destiny is brought into the mix and you find another person who plays it, there's just like there's a connection. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
there's
kinda-
excitement all of a
This kind
sudden
of
in the
sounds like you're
conversation.
starved for friendship right there, Vinny.
Well, we don't have many friends that play Destiny because obviously there's not a lot
This
of them.
this just turned into like a sponsorship for Destiny. You guys want to play Destiny with us? Our gamer tag is 420, dude.
420 blazing hashtag.
Now, Vin, I want
420s.
to go back to something you said a little bit earlier. You said if it wasn't Destiny, you would be playing like an RPG or rich story game. I know Destiny was terrible, and that's why I avoided it. But does anyone play these other than you? Do you play random RPGs? Anyone play MMOs?
I will say here that Destiny is probably the reason I don't play video games too much right now.
Destiny ruined video games for you?
Games like Destiny, I feel like there is such a lack of soul in those games, and I find that the real soul of the creators come out in story-driven games. And that's the kind of games I wait for.
But Destiny had a story. You were played as
No,
Turtle
Destiny-
Space Being.
Destiny didn't have
yeah,
a story.
You played as space robots and you shot things for 8 hours, and then they're like, "All right, go get loot."
Well, then what would you
It's
have
the
wanted
gameplay
instead?
loop.
Halo.
You would want Halo instead? They have Halo.
Halo had a nice single-player campaign that
Oh, so you like single-player games.
I prefer single-player games, but I'm down for a good co-op game with a story as well.
What's a good co-op game you can think of right now?
Good co-op game I can think of right now with a good story, or just a good co-op game.
Either one.
Overcooked, great co-op.
What
game.
is Overcooked?
It's just you just cook food.
That sounds terrible.
The like hamburger god comes down and tries to take over the world, and you and like up to 4 friends can cook food together and try to save the world through cooking. But
the
it's
power of cooking.
But
So
they'll
you'd rather
give-
cook food than space and then shoot space aliens and
But they'll give one guy the cooking, and the other guy will have to clean the dishes or get the ingredients or chop or something like that. So you have
That doesn't
stuff
sound
catching.
fun to
You have
me.
stuff catching on fire and burning the kitchen down, and you're just yelling at your friends to cook better.
I just want to clarify, Destiny is a bad game. That's what you said.
Gordon
Jeff?
Ramsay, the game.
Overcooked is a million times better than Destiny. I can't do it justice.
I'm
with
gonna
words.
say
But,
everything here spoken is all opinionated because everyone likes what they like, and
But I'm going to quickly call out Jeff because I do recall many months of us just playing Overwatch for many hours at a time. So that's Rob, Danielle, and myself and Jeff and a couple others. So mindless killing, you are about that a little bit.
Oh no, mindless killing is Jeff's middle name.
But Overwatch is more. What type of game is Overwatch?
At the beginning, it was. I liked the idea. I liked how you had to like capture objectives. Different characters had different abilities. You had to work together. But eventually, it just devolved into like pure toxic trash.
I think the term you're looking for is Taco Bell game.
Oh, Taco Bell.
Yeah, there's like those
That's
little
right.
CD-ROMs you used to get in like
Yep.
the early 2000s.
The jumping bean. I remember it fondly.
Yeah. Well, Joe and I, we used to play an MMO called Elder Scrolls Online. Did anyone else play Elder?
I played like an hour and a half of that.
I
It's
see
like,
Jeff grinning the second I said it.
You let me share play that game, and I'm like, Rob, what are you doing? This is terrible.
I think I gave it to Vinny to borrow, and he never gave it back. He said,
I traded it back to GameStop.
Thanks. I'll take the $2.
I did you the favor.
Well, I mean, I tried to play Final Fantasy Online, but the problem with that, it's another MMO. I wanted to try it. Is there was a huge subscription base, which is kind of bullshit in games, right?
Subscription-based games, depending on how it's done, I think is actually preferable to something like Destiny because you can't keep content in Destiny. That was the big problem with that game. You would beat the thing, get to the end, and then the content was grind the loot, wait for an expansion pack.
Right.
When you have a game like Final Fantasy XIV, which personally I think is one of the best MMOs out there right now, and if I had time, I would be playing that game constantly. When you're paying a monthly subscription, you're funding the developers to put something new in the game every week, every 2 weeks. You have hundreds and hundreds of hours of quests and content and areas and everything. Destiny had like 2 planets and a dirty toilet to explore. And
But
Final
don't those
Fantasy XIV, you could
quests-
fly around the world.
But don't those, even though their creativity can only go so far, they're shaking their heads in our studio, by the way, because they're just suckling the Destiny teat. But even with a
beautiful
subscription-based platform like Final Fantasy, isn't there just so many quests? Aren't they just repetitive?
They're really not, though.
Really?
There's a story. If you pick up Final Fantasy XIV right now from level 1, there is a storyline that will probably take you over 100 hours to complete, and it takes you from level 1 all the way into wherever they are right now with the expansion packs, with voice acting in some of the quests, with different storylines based off of what type of class you play. It's everywhere. And it's not really... I mean, it's always going to be go out and kill things, or go out and, clean this garden out from this moldy carrots, get rid of them.
that sounds
but-
like fun.
I wouldn't say it's repetitive just because of the cleverness of the combat and everything in that game.
I thought the combat was... I don't know. Maybe I just don't really like MMOs. I liked ESO because it was more of an action MMO.
I have a question. Is it like a turn-based kind of... Like, I didn't really ever play Final Fantasy. Is it...
Yes,
How does
and
the
no.
combat work?
It's turn-based, but live action.
Like I-
you know what I mean? And you can do a lot of attacks have chains, so you would have your action bar set up, and you'd be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and it would do a certain attack chain, which would give you.
But you'd
better
have to
moves.
kind of set that up in your head preemptively.
Yeah, I was playing. I don't want to talk too much about this game, but as a ninja class, you would actually have to put in combos in your keyboard to do certain ninjutsu moves.
That's pretty cool.
Now, Rob, you said you played Elder Scrolls Online. Does that mean that you were, and I'm hoping you say yes, a Skyrim fan?
Yeah, absolutely. A Skyrim fan.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about when I said, deep RPG and something that you can get lost in.
Yeah.
Skyrim was unbelievable. I mean, I literally lived in that world for years.
Well, if you want to continue to live in that world, I'm currently playing Skyrim VR.
Oh,
It's blowing my mind, but in a bad way.
bad.
The game is good, but everyone remembers how Skyrim starts out, right?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Well, for those that don't, you start out in a cart and you're sitting down. And keep in mind, you have the VR. I was playing this alone, and the game starts you out. You're looking to your left, and I hear, "It's nice to be in Skyrim today," or whatever that main guy says. And I shit you not, I turned to my right, and I was like, "Huh!" Because he looked too real bad. And he's talking to me, and he's making that vague eye contact where he's lost. And I have the remote things in my hand, and I'm trying to poke him in the face. And you see my guy's hands poking him in the face, and he's not reacting. So you're in this living world, but because it's VR, everything looks so hyper unrealistic, if that makes sense.
Well,
The
Skyrim, I don't think Skyrim's the best platform to be in VR. I mean, it is because the towns are great. Whiterun and all of the towns are great to visit, but I just think they're graphically, it's
The graphics
not,
are terrible in
Yeah,
VR.
it's not the platform.
The draw
to-
distance is like 1 foot in front of your face, and the textures look like, well, it looked like you created the textures.
yeah, great.
It's the limitations of current technology with VR. As it goes and progresses, it's going to get better. But right now, it's like a ham sandwich,
Why is it a ham sandwich?
just super plain and boring.
I feel like ham sandwiches are good. Does anyone not like ham sandwiches other than Joe?
I mean, I'd like some cheese on my ham sandwich. So
Well,
It's the most non-dimensional sandwich.
now we have to ask.
Okay, ask.
How does everybody eat their ham sandwiches?
I don't eat a ham sandwich.
Without ham?
Same.
Really?
A grilled cheese.
Yeah,
I go.
grilled rainbow cheese.
You ready for this? I'm gonna blow everybody away.
Oh no.
Spiced ham and Munster. Come on, that's
What
it.
type
That's
of
it.
bread?
Ezekiel.
No. How could you bring up that name right now?
And what type of monster?
No, Munster.
Oh, Munster.
Munster cheese, spiced ham, and I'm gonna be honest. Whatever the fuck bread that I have, I don't have a bread type for my ham sandwich.
Why
It's
not?
just whatever's there.
So you have no loyalty.
I don't have loyalty to bread. No, definitely not. Especially Ezekiel bread.
It's a character defect of yours.
It
no
is.
loyalty.
No loyalty at all. I have nothing.
Well, you know what? For the vegetarians in the room, what would you supplement instead of ham?
No, I think I'm good with cheese.
Just
Cheese
cheese?
is not cold cheese, not a cold cheese sandwich. Oh God, that sounds awful. But
That's desperate.
no, melted cheese.
Just
Are
sounds
you
like
asking
you like grilled
for
cheeses.
a sandwich of choice?
Well, okay. I say, here's a ham sandwich. And you say, well, I'm a vegetarian. What do you substitute it with?
Lettuce and tomato?
That's it?
Tuna?
Tuna in a slice, like
Sliced
cold
tuna.
cut
Take
tuna.
the ham sandwich, take the ham off the sandwich, toast the bread, throw some tuna on it, and you got a good sandwich.
Okay, that's just a tuna sandwich.
My
Yeah.
desperate sandwich, though, when I'm like too lazy to make something, but I'm starving and I'm running out the door or something,
Destiny.
it has to, it has to be a potato roll, right? And
It does have to be that.
and just 2 pieces of American cheese. That's like a desperate. I'm throwing something together. I need
Sounds
to get
terrible.
it in.
Man,
It does
processed
sound
cheese.
like
Nothing on it, just like quick. Like,
That's like very vanilla.
yeah.
it sounds like you're bad at making sandwiches, almost like a lack of skill. And as a terrible segue, that's what I want to say about games now. I'm like I said, I'm currently playing Skyrim VR, but there's also some other games. Joe and Dale and I we're playing Battlefield, and yep. So was
So
Vinny. I
good.
forgot Vinny was playing it.
Yeah, a good friend of mine bought it for me, and it was. A good friend of mine bought it for me, and it was such a gift, man. It's so good.
Wow, that guy sounds awesome.
He is awesome,
But-
and he's handsome as fuck.
I can imagine.
Joe, thank you very much for the game. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
All right.
I didn't even realize I bought it. I have to check my bank account.
Well, I stole your credit card. But so we're playing Battlefield 5, and Joe and I were playing Red Dead Online. Now you guys are going, yeah, what great games. I don't want to say fuck the both of them because I feel I'll be struck by lightning. But I feel like games like Battlefield 5, Call of Duty, Minecraft, Hunger Games, Red Dead Online are suffering from the same problem that all current games are suffering from. And that's lack of skill because they're made for everyone. Don't you guys agree?
I don't know what that means.
they appeal to like the lowest common denominator
the
in terms of
casual
skill.
player. So
Yeah.
anyone can pick this up and play and have fun.
Yeah, but
Right.
how hard do you
I
want a game to be?
I
Oh,
think
I want hardcore mode at least when it's promised to me.
Really?
Yeah, because like in Battlefield 1, that was like the biggest letdown because we went from playing Battlefield 4 to playing Battlefield 1, and there was
hardcore
Oh,
mode.
so we did too. I
they
did
had
too.
hardcore mode, but it's not the same as far as
I don't,
It was
the
hardcore
damage.
mode where they held your hand also.
yeah. It was still silly mode.
Is that where you just die almost instantly?
The
Yeah,
second
like
you spawn,
one shot.
you die because it's hardcore. So you wake up and they're like, "You're fucking dead, hardcore."
So like Beaches of Normandy 24/7.
yeah.
well, it was more like
Just a living nightmare.
imagine you wake up, but there's a spring-loaded boxing glove waiting for you. So every time you wake up, you're just like, "Pow!" right in the kisser, and you just go to sleep.
Why do you want to get frustrated though? Like, why
I
does
don't
a game
want
have
okay.
to be that
I
hard?
know it's a double-edged sword, but when I shoot someone in the face and they kill me because their gun is quote unquote better than mine. That goes back to like the Division or Destiny. You guys like loot based games where the points are kind of scaling you up. You know what I'm saying?
There's a meta where there's a meta of the game. You mean like where these are the weapons you have to use because they're the most effective in the game currently.
I want to just shout out SWAT mode on Halo 2. It was no shields, battle rifles only. You turn the corner, pop, dead.
And why did you like that?
One of my favorite game modes.
Because it was Twitch reactions. It was very, very fast interactions. And you could go on like a 20-player killing spree if you were good enough.
Let me ask you a backdoor question to that one. How long did you play that for?
That was the mode that I tried to play whenever I tried to play Halo 2.
So for like a couple of years, you would say you played that?
Yeah, probably until maybe the Xbox 360 came out and I retired my Xbox.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying about these games is they're focusing on the wrong things. They're more focusing on how quickly they can get money from the casual audience rather than the hardcore audience. A lot of games are suffering that. Call of Duty, PUBG, Fortnite, Red Dead, everything kind of falls together because they want these pre-orders and they want these microtransactions out of everyone as soon as possible. So for like Halo 2, you said you played the SWAT mode because it was probably more skill in it, right?
Yeah, I found it more fun than, everybody's got shields and people are jumping and doing backflips and throwing grenades and that kind of stuff isn't fun to me.
And Vinny, to answer your question, I don't want to be frustrated when I'm playing games. I want to be rewarded when I'm playing a multiplayer game.
Well, and that's the thing. So like in Battlefield 4, for example, which is like the last hardcore mode that they've really had, you would have to listen to your surroundings. You could hear enemies. You would have to be fully immersed in the game. And not only that, but if you're aiming for like a headshot, you would be rewarded for improving your aim because that would be an instant kill. So when you go from that to playing normal mode or even like a pseudo hardcore mode like in Battlefield 1, you're not rewarding the players who have invested the time to acquire that skill. And it can be really frustrating.
And that's the audience that they should go for. Joe, we're playing Red Dead Online, right? Mm-hmm. When was the last time we played?
Was it last week?
Yeah, we probably threw someone off a cliff blessing the mountain gods, right?
Well, yeah, that was totally my idea, but yes.
But what ruined it for us?
Just no free aim servers. I think the biggest problem that they're suffering from right now is just this auto snap aiming where you look at someone and they're instantly dead.
Yeah,
it takes any skill, any challenge, any fun or enjoyment out of a person that used to really love this franchise.
Yeah, no, I mean, like the first time I played online, I wasn't even aiming near the guy, and like I had auto aim on. It was just like snapped, and like I was like, oh wow, this is like incredibly easy to just. And even with that, like I was still doing very well, but like I don't know if the other people were not using free aim or whatnot, but it was just so easy to do very well with that because I didn't really have to try that hard. And I play a lot of first-person shooters, so like I switched to free aim as well and was like, now this is challenging because everyone else is doing what I was doing. So it's like, now I feel stuck having to use this auto aim mode.
Well, Rockstar's free aim is really weighty feeling, though, isn't it?
It is. It's not the smoothest.
Yeah, it's like, as you're trying to like aim. I don't know. To me, it's not like...
That's also something I like about Destiny is like their aim and their like gunplay feels so smooth.
They are on point with that for sure.
That's one of the things I just like that keeps me playing that game.
Yes.
It's just like it feels so good, and like I've been playing like a lot of competitive, and that is like very high skill like gap. Like you have to be good. You have to have like decent weapons. You have to think about your loadout. You have to be conscious of like what your team's doing, what the other team's doing. Like there's more than just like, oh, let's go run in here and do this. And like, yeah, you may have more health and like you have abilities, but it's like when to use those abilities, when to jump, when to use your super. It's all like,
oh yeah,
it's very strategic in my opinion. Like it's not like you could just hop in there and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just play Destiny and be good because.
Well, Dom, let me add something to that. So the things you like about Destiny, imagine it's used against you, and that's how I feel a lot of players are feeling with some of these things. For example, you said you focus on your loadout, what you want to get, and you bring it into war, right?
Yeah.
But what if in Destiny they can almost instantly target lock on you? Or you got your super every 5 seconds. It wouldn't matter what you brought into it. There's just a different meta, or there's something that you appreciated, you worked so hard to do, and you bring into a PvP setting where it's this ultimate handicap where you feel the game is almost playing for you.
I mean, there's definitely it's hard with Destiny because it's a PvE PvP kind of game, and you have weapons that are like super good in PvE. And like new exotic, they just brought this new exotic that has like tracking on it, and like it's a one-shot kill, and like you'll just turn the corner and all of a sudden you're dead, and you're like, that's just not cool at all. Like I didn't even have a chance to react.
What if every gun was like that?
I mean, it would be terrible.
It would be terrible.
It would be terrible, and it's like this one particular gun. Like that's when they nerf it, and that's why you keep updating the game, and like let's turn down the tracking on this gun because.
Yeah, but Destiny definitely clearly does guns meant for PvE and then guns meant for PvP.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do. So, I mean, it kind of keeps it balanced in that sense of like these are the weapons you should use for PvP.
Now, I think other than we talked about Destiny, Battlefield, and Red Dead, and Overwatch kind of turned into this like toxic nightmare of a game. I know Jeff and we had this red controller. Jeff, you have a red controller, right?
I have remains of a red controller.
What do you mean?
That was my red Overwatch controller. So it was the sacrificial controller that I'd only use for Overwatch. So when I'd run up to a guy and shoot him in the head 400 times, but he had 6 healers and a cheeseburger as a helmet.
How much did the cheeseburger heal?
The cheeseburger was 100 armor. I don't understand that. And he just wore it on his nose and absorbed all my bullets. All my rockets. I was flying around shooting 100 times Big Bang Hadouken Kamehamehas at them. But Cheese Steve just healed him through everything.
Yes, and I think that is what we're trying to get at is I feel like games have changed now kind of for the worse. We have now the state of the industry where the developers are focused on pre-orders and microtransactions. And speaking of pre-order, this episode wouldn't be possible without our new sponsor.
Yes, our new sponsor. Coming this summer, the most epic gaming event of 2019, coming to GameStation. From the developers of the blockbuster hits such as Retail Man, Cashier Unleashed, and Shady Oak Drive, Seniors Rebel, comes Mortal Wombat. Mortal Wombat! Herbivore turned carnivore in the most extreme way. Burrow deep into enemy strongholds and take out your foes with stealth or slaughter them with your deadly fatalities. Teeth and fur will be flying in this action-adventure game. Claim your land, get the girl, become the ultimate Wombadass. Pre-order now and receive Combat Wombat Power Armor on day 1. Mortal Wombat. The Outback will never be the same.
I would definitely play that game.
Oh, I can't wait.
I just
can't
pre-ordered
wait.
it.
Yeah,
just
no.
pre-ordered it.
You just pre-ordered it?
Yeah,
What'd you
100%.
get for pre-ordering
I got
it?
the Combat Wombat battle armor.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. I wasn't able to pre-order it. Can I still get the Combat Wombat battle armor?
In 2 years from now.
In 2 years? So you're going to have an advantage that I don't?
You pay $5 for the Combat Wombat battle armor.
See, now this might lose our new sponsor, but fuck that. That's the problem right now, is that with these pre-orders, think of a game. What game's coming out? Anthem, right?
Yeah.
Who's excited for Anthem?
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
Fran.
definitely.
Oh,
Hand raised.
I can't wait to play as that cheeseburger guy.
Yeah, Destiny with jetpacks.
Listen,
Iron
Jeff,
Man Destiny.
Iron Man.
it's a cool hybrid.
I can't wait to hear your day 1 of this game sucks.
No.
Tune in for our day 1 This Game Sucks review.
My fingers are crossed.
That's our new review
Yeah, I
segment.
really hope. I really hope.
But when you pre-order these games and they kind of hold shit back, or they put these microtransactions and you're on a kind of road to nowhere, that's the new problem. And that's the new meta, and that's kind of what's ruining things because they say, well, pre-order Anthem and you'll get your Combat Wombat armor, but if you don't do it, you just don't get it. And they're trying to absorb all this money early and release an unfinished product.
How do you feel about games not being finished? Like when I was younger, right, and you would buy something real quick on Sega or Nintendo, whatever the hell you had, they were pretty much finished. There was no updates over the air. I mean, you were getting...
Oh, there was no over-the-air on Sega.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's almost like buying a car and, you bought it with one seat even though it's a sedan. But don't worry, bring it back in 2 months and we'll put the other seats in. Like, that, it doesn't make any sense. And I hate that that's the norm now.
I don't necessarily think it's the developer's fault. I think the publishers obviously have something to do with it. Wanting to like expand or like time gate things so that players will keep playing and they'll find a way to keep getting people's money through DLC and that feature's coming in a later DLC for $20. If you pre-order it now, you'll get an early access. You'll get to play it 5 days earlier than the person who doesn't pre-order it. So you're like, oh, well, I play the game all the time. Like, I'm going to spend the $5 and pre-order it now so I can play it earlier.
Well, here's why this isn't the developer's fault. Because the developer can put their foot down and be like, no, I'm making the game the way I want to make the game.
Good, no
I
more
have-
money for you then.
I have an image. I have passion. Well, I want to put an example out here. God of War.
Well, that's different.
Which god?
The latest God.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
all the gods, actually.
All the gods.
They're all pretty good.
they are. all pretty
But the latest one was amazing because the developer had such a passion and an image, and the game was his baby. And
It
he
was.
didn't want to just make a cash grab like most
No,
of the games that are coming out now.
But like, okay, so when you're like Bungie's was partnered with Activision, who like they're just looking to get money in their pocket however they can. Like, what is it, Santa Monica Studios that did it, and who published God of War? I think they published it themselves, right? Sony.
it was all done by Sony, but
Right.
it was
So
really
Sony's smart enough to realize like, this we can bring single player games and have them relevant in today's like MMO games as a service kind of thing, and they won Game of the Year, so obviously like they know what they're doing.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about adding DLC or extra content into a game. I'm literally talking about not buying a finished product. Like every single game that you spend $60 or more on, you know there's going to be a day one patch, and then more as you play the game.
That's just kind of the state of games right
but
now.
is it a side effect of games getting more complex and harder to make, or do they just need more time so you can buy a finished product?
No, publishers just want you to get the game out so that they can start making money sooner. And they're like, all right, just wait to like release that content. We'll release it as DLC later.
So the car with one seat when you bought
I
one
think
with
Jeff
four.
brought up a good point. He talked about God of War. God of War came out
No, that was
less than 6 months ago, right?
yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
It was completely finished. They no planned DLC. Everything was in that game.
Things came out later. They did photo mode later. They
But
did New
that's
Game
a
Plus
that's
later.
a patch.
that's
Yeah,
featurettes.
okay.
Yeah.
And that was because people asked for it. They're like,
Yeah.
"Can we get photo mode?" And they're like, "All right, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a free
Yeah.
patch. Here you go."
I just want to say something. Photo mode is the best thing to happen in the history of everything.
Yes,
it's
love
a
photo
thing.
mode.
It's fine.
Does anybody agree with me though? Don't you want to buy a finished product?
I
Of
think
course,
everyone agrees
wants to
with
buy
you.
a finished product, but
That's why we talk about God of War, is because that was finished.
Yes.
And everything else coming out, and I don't want to bring this game up again, but I have to because there was a huge sin. Battlefield 5 is still unfinished.
it's terribly
Yes.
unfinished. The
It still
bugs
says
and
coming soon, right?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
well, when you
Yeah.
want to like do tank bodies and stuff, it's like
No,
coming
no.
soon.
Not that.
Oh.
When you got you're in the game a little bit late, but when the game first came out, what wasn't there?
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale wasn't there. The
I'm really pissed about that.
Is it still not there?
still not there.
It's still not
Combined
there.
Arms isn't there.
I mean, there
and
are
you
a
saw
lot
things
of
that said
bugs.
coming soon.
Even Battlefield 1 did that. Like, I mean, you're buying an unfinished product. You feel like you were just mugged. You're like, what happened?
Yeah.
Well, with Battlefield, I feel like I still am playing the beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy though. Like how
Because-
that's the norm.
But it's because they're thinking of these games as a service bullshit. They're not thinking of the end user. They're thinking of the end user's wallet.
Do you think that's like you were saying it's not the developers? I'm saying it's not the developers. You're saying the developers have like an opportunity to be like, hey, like, do you think the developers DICE were like, we want to release this game in this state. We know there's bugs. We know we're not finished. But like, don't you think EA was like, well, you signed a contract that said you were going to release it by this date. So give us the best that you have right now and continue to work on it and make it better.
Then the developer says, "Okay, well, this is my IP. I'm not working with your company anymore."
Right, and then like that's what Bungie just did. They just split with Activision. So now they face some pretty hard like things. Like now they have less funding. So maybe microtransactions will be more prevalent in Destiny because they don't have all this outside money that Activision supported. They don't have the like expanded like advertising that Activision is a huge company, has billions of dollars. They can market to all over the world. They have, got Destiny 2 on Battle.net, like Blizzard's.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that Activision might be the reason that Destiny's not that great as well.
Yeah,
They might
I
be
mean-
pushing Bungie to get
Yeah.
these games out. I mean, they released Destiny 2, what, like 2 years after Destiny 1?
It was 3 years, yeah. But
And
yeah,
it was
they
supposed to be like this continuing... Like, Destiny 1 was supposed to be the only thing that ever came out.
Like wow.
And it was supposed to
Yeah.
just be expansion pack. And that was Bungie's vision for it. But
Right.
seems like Activision went for the cash grab.
Right, they did, and they were like, "Oh no, we'll sign a 10-year agreement with you, and we're going to do 3 games over every 3 years." So
This
So they
all
do
go-
have some
one
say.
game every 3
This
years.
all goes back to Fable with Peter Molyneux. He was just the world's greatest liar. Like you have Satan with the fruit, and then above him is Peter Molyneux. He's like, in Fable, you can drop an acorn, and that acorn will grow into a tree. Yeah, that's a lie. It turned out that half of the shit he says isn't in the game. And when I hear things about Destiny, and the same thought is popping in my mind about Anthem, how they say, no, it's not going to be a second game. It's this ever-growing world. And they said the same thing about Anthem. I just realized they said the same thing about Destiny as well, too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of concerning because they put all these lies up front to kind of get you bought in. And once again, pre-order so you can get your Combat Wombat armor.
You know, I'm okay. I might be in the minority here, but I'm okay with microtransactions in a game.
Everyone together? Fuck you.
No. As long as it's within reason, not $10.
Give me a reason.
Okay, not $10 for the skin you want or something, but $2 is fine.
Yeah.
I can spend $2 for a weapon or a skin that I want, and you know what? I don't mind helping out the developer of a game that I like. They have an office full of people. They're working hard. I don't mind throwing them a little extra money, but within reason.
Right, and I think we were just watching a video last night about Anthem and how they're going to limit their microtransactions. It's only going to be for cosmetic
Until they realize how much
additions.
money they can make off of it.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen, but I
will
think
happen.
that falls within reason. If it's something cosmetic and the price is right, I don't have a problem with that. But as far as weapons or skills where it becomes pay to
As
play,
long
that's
as
a
it doesn't
problem.
affect
No, yes.
gameplay. Yep.
I'm okay with cosmetic, but the point of microtransactions anyway, they have to make money. It's a business. I get it. You
So
know, but
give it a monthly fee.
yeah, but I don't want to pay a monthly fee.
I wouldn't mind.
If I see a $2 skin, I'll buy it. But like Destiny's got $10 weapon skin.
Yeah,
$10.
it's
Like
ridiculous.
I can't.
Well, what's Fortnite like? $25 for a skin?
yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's insane. But I mean, that's a different player base. You have little kids begging their parents for I want this skin.
And they don't have any sense of a dollar yet.
Yeah, right. So they don't realize. I'm like, oh, Jonathan, why don't you just buy the skin? He's like, I don't have enough money.
Well, I think that's the developers and the publishers kind of like warring against each other. They don't want to put it in their games because I hope that the developers are gamers themselves. And when you think about making games, you need to think about passion, right? So there are good developers out there. I think of CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
They made The Witcher.
Great game.
Awesome.
Everyone's saying,
It's
Yeah,
delicious.
because it sits well with you.
I love me some Geralt.
Unplayable, but fantastic.
Unplayable.
hold on, Jeff. Here we go.
Oh,
All right.
Go ahead, Jeff.
versus the.
No, it's exactly what I said. The game is unplayable, but it's fantastic.
It's unplayable because you haven't turned it on and it's unplayable? Because
No,
it's not like
it's-
Animal
'cause you didn't
Crossing?
buy it?
It's just too much. There's
Too much.
That game
There
is
is a
too
lot.
much.
there is too much. to
I
do.
have so much respect for that game, but I can't play it.
Oh, so it's more of a you problem.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unplayable, but fantastic.
Disagree wholeheartedly.
Oh, go ahead, Joe. Disagreeing.
I played every little aspect of that game, every small side quest. That game is just amazing. The whole world that they completely created with even like every NPC you can interact with, and it has like a full like dialogue to go with you. It's just a really fun, engaging RPG.
I agree. I
don't-
just can't play it.
I don't believe you, Joe. Though I don't believe you.
Why?
There's no way that you did everything because seriously, are you unemployed? I mean, because I
Where do you find the
literally I beat the game. I got the master crafted armor. I did all that, but I still have at least 8,500 question marks on all of the maps that I still haven't gone to, and I'm well over 100 hours.
It's in my nature. Same with an Assassin's Creed. Anytime I'd see a special little marker on the map, I'd have to explore it and then unlock everything until I completed the game fully.
Boy, I'm jealous, man.
you-
You
did
got
you-
your money's worth out of.
Let me ask you a
It's
question,
fun.
Joe. Did you ever like? Because I was like that, and I used to do that all the time, and then I would find myself like not beating the main campaign. Like I did that with what game was it? Mad Max. I was exploring forever, and I was going to do all these things, and like there was so much to do, and there's like I just never finished the campaign because I was like I got bored of it. Like
That happens on so many games with me. You'll just be exploring for the entirety of the game and never finish.
I don't
Yeah.
think I beat Fallout 4.
But where's the complaint here? I hear what you guys are saying, but ultimately we're in such shambles that shitty games can come out and not be finished. And when a game has so much game and we're like, this is just too much game. I wish there was some way that every time I beat a level, it would charge me $5 for the next level.
Jeff.
But
Well, no. Witcher is made with love. That's
is
the thing.
because
it's just not my style of game. I'm like I said, that game is fantastic, but I can't play it.
well, this is I'm going to say a developer for lack of knowledge. This is a developer operating basically out of a cave in Poland, and they made this insane complete game and 3 expansions that don't affect the other game, but they're made so empirically pure that it's just bamboozles my mind that these other companies with 100 million employees can't release one thing on time. Why am I waiting for games? And I know it's not that they can't, it's that they won't because they're fucking greedy and they're taking advantage of the consumer.
I think one of the biggest problems that we're facing right now is that, yes, you're getting the framework of a game, but it's not the full game. Whereas DLC used to be a complement, and you're just trying to figure out when am I going to get the full version of this game.
Yep. That's what it is.
I think games just take a really long time to develop if you want them to be really good. Like, Red Dead was a great game, but that game was in the making for 8 years. Mm-hmm. Like, publishers want to make money. Like, there's a new Call of Duty game every year. Why is there a new FIFA game? Why is there FIFA 18, 19? Like, why? Tell me what is, because it's a cash grab. Sorry, you could just charge the consumer $60 and give them a new FIFA that is maybe has some new. I don't know. I don't really play FIFA, but maybe has some new players, updates, some stuff like. But it's essentially the same game.
Well, I want to put it like this, in the standpoint of the developers and publishers. I'm going to ask you guys the question. So, what do you guys kind of look for in a game? And that's what the developers and publishers should be asking. So, what do you guys look for in a game?
I don't know. Like I mentioned it earlier, I enjoy multiplayer games, team-based. Something we haven't really talked about. I like puzzle-based games too.
Like
I
what?
guess we kind of touched on it with turn-based games because that's kind of like a puzzle game. But
Well, how do you feel about Portal?
I loved Portal
Why?
because it was co-op. And
How
it was a
could you
puzzle
like a game with no microtransactions and no DLC? Are you an insane person?
I'm not 14.
Unbelievable.
No, that game was awesome. Limbo, which was kind of a side scroller that I
Limbo was
really
great.
enjoyed. That was a great game.
Can we throw a spoiler alert out there for Limbo? Spoiler
It's
alert.
been out for long
Yeah, I
enough.
think
Go
I-
ahead.
Okay. Dale, isn't the coolest part about Limbo is the moment it ends and begins?
Yeah, like you
That-
end up in the same place.
Yeah, the second you beat the game, it's imagine this like imaginary wall, and you do the last puzzle, and you're a kid, and you break through whatever the last puzzle is, and it just starts over. And then you, as the player, you realize, oh, Limbo, I get it.
You're stuck in limbo. Wow.
But those are games that are made with passion and not made seeking your fucking wallet constantly.
But those are made purely by developers. Like, was there a publisher that worked on Limbo?
no, that
Probably
the
not.
publisher.
The publisher was the developer.
Well,
Right.
the publisher's a lot like Vinny for this. He doesn't do anything. He just shows up and talks.
Wow.
What?
Well, what about Minecraft?
What about Minecraft?
What about-
Hitler's other hobby?
That was it just released by the developer too?
No. Minecraft was when Hitler was in his bunker and the war was falling around him. He's like, I'm so bored.
He got a bunch of glue and some popsicle
And
sticks.
he just started, he was writing a book and he's like, okay, what am I going to call this? And he's like, Minecraft.
Minecraft was a passion project that turned into a monstrosity to the point where the developer's like, yeah, I've made so much money off this. Microsoft, you deal with this, and then sold it and left. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, kudos to Minecraft. That guy is filthy rich now, and it really did. Like, Notch, that whole thing started off as a passion project. Like, here's this weird beta of this crafting game. He kept adding cool stuff to it, adding until it got picked up by everything.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like Rayman and stuff?
Oh, I loved Rayman.
Rayman is
yeah,
so
I played
good,
it on
right?
PC when I was younger.
I
Oh,
never
man.
played on PC.
Oh, really?
I the last game I played on DC was Doom
What's DC?
and Wolfenstein. Oh,
You
DC.
played on DC? Is DC is that the new game station? coming out?
No. PC.
PlayStation console, yes.
No, personal computer. Isn't that what a PC?
Well, there's a personal computer built into the Sony PlayStation. yeah.
Listen, I agree with you.
Yeah, good.
Because PC gaming shouldn't exist.
Okay, hold
Who's,
on.
All right.
who's using a mouse and a fucking
Agreed.
EW? You
Let's
get the fuck
I
out
want to
of here.
hear. I want to hear from 3 people right now. I want to hear from Danielle first. What do you? What
No,
do you,
I completely agree. That is not ergonomically correct when
No.
it comes to gaming.
Now, that's from the position of people that I don't want to say play games the least, but I'm going to give you guys the worst perspective on games, right?
Yeah, but even if you're playing a first-person shooter on
No.
a PC, fuck you. That's you better be God at that game because
Yeah.
it's like click to aim. That's ridiculous.
It's
What?
I hate PC gaming.
Okay, well, we got that from a girl and a fat guy. Joe,
Yeah,
how do you
fuck
fe-
'em.
how, do
Okay.
you, how do you feel about it?
It's a love-hate relationship. The only hate comes because I feel like I'm getting carpal tunnel with some of these mice that I use for gaming. But honestly, I really love it. You have so many more games on PC. You have a lot of variety. And when it comes to shooting on it, it's honestly, you get much better aim from using a mouse than you do from a controller, but I do prefer using a controller.
Okay.
I
Jeff.
wanna go through how I played GTA 5 on
Yes.
PC.
Okay. Tell us a story, oh father.
This is gonna be a very short story, but I had a controller and I had mouse and keyboard.
Wow. Great story.
So they had first person mode in that game, right? So while I was playing, I played the entire game in first person, used my mouse and keyboard for shooting, for combat situations, for dodging and all that cool stuff. Hopped into a car, grabbed my controller, used the controller for driving because
Why don't you just use
Rockstar's-
like a USB steering wheel?
Rockstar shooting mechanics are so bad that you need auto aim. It's basically auto aim or mouse and keyboard. That's the only option for those games. I guess if I had a steering wheel, I probably would have used a steering wheel.
Now, Jeff, you and I, we played GTA 5 online together, right?
Yeah, but we didn't really do anything competitive. We
No,
went
we didn't.
against, computer opponents.
Yes, we did go against the computer opponents, and I remember we were trying to do the heist, and you and some other nameless cretin just couldn't aim. Why couldn't you aim?
Because Rockstar's aiming is terrible, and that's why auto aim is always enabled.
And this is going to lead me to my next point. I'm not trying to insult everyone out there, or even, well, I don't care if I insult Jeff. Look at his stupid beard. Everyone boo Jeff. Boo!
Yeah, my beard's better than yours.
But these other games, like, let's say Call of Duty, Battlefield, Counter-Strike, everything else out there, the lack of skill that a lot of people have, and they put out this, like, life raft for everyone to grab onto with aim assist, auto aim, or some better gun to make everyone a little bit better to make it a nice even playing field. That's not how competition works. And when you play other games with that have aim assist and you never challenge your muscles, you don't challenge your tactics and way of thinking, you're going to be bad at all the other games moving forward. So if you're, let's say, maybe not good at FPSs and you say that Rockstar has bad shooting, which they don't have great shooting. I'm not going to say that they do. But for me, I play a lot more shooters than you do, third person, first person. I usually turn off aim assist. I try to play on the harder difficulty. I get rid of the handicap. So when I play something else, I can kind of not dominate, but not feel like I am handicapped.
Mouse and keyboard.
Checkmate. Got him. Got him.
Joysticks are a very poor way to play first-person shooters.
Tell that
What's
to
up,
that
Dom?
other guy.
What are you thinking?
I've played some first person shooters on mouse and keyboard.
Like
and-
Destiny?
No, I didn't play Destiny on that because I just
Oh, I got alert box.
I think the hardest thing for me is just using the keyboard to move, like WASD, like my hands and like moving and like that was the hardest part. Like aiming, I mean, like I said, I feel like it's easier to aim. Obviously, you have a mouse, like you just point and aim. It's I'm sure there's recoil in some games. I played Paladins because it was like free to play on your computer. So like, I don't know.
But don't you feel like it's
I prefer to play with a controller personally.
less immersive, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
It just
like,
feels different.
It does feel.
It's a
different.
different language. It's a
Right.
totally different language that I can't seem to learn.
It's more of like an impediment. Like I don't like it.
All right, gonna first say for RPGs, button mapping is gold on a PC. I can have like 20 different keystrokes for all different items and
Right.
skills.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
you have
quite
to
nice.
look at what you're doing, right?
No, Vinny, you just need some dexterity.
I
know how to use a keyboard.
Yeah, but no, that's bullshit.
Listen,
because
it's
if
just
you're
learning.
looking at the screen, how do you know where your hand is?
Vinny, let me help you out. You play Destiny, right?
Yes.
Do you look at your fucking controller when you're playing Destiny?
No.
I know it's
but
more
that's-
simple, but
Exactly. You can't.
It's too
you-
complicated.
It is.
Did you ever
It's got,
take a
like,
typing
100
class?
keys.
Let me put my left hand on this giant grid
WSAD.
of buttons and fucking not look. Get the fuck out of
You
here.
should go like learn to play the piano and then upgrade to PC.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know. I think that PC gaming was great in 1992. Okay, let's all move forward
No.
and
Hold
get
on.
fucking consoles.
ahead.
Hold on. Do you play guitar?
Yes.
So you have however many of the what are they called? Strum boards?
Frets.
They're called,
Frets?
No,
Yeah.
they're called strombolis.
Strombolis. So you have like 30 strombolis that you have to remember how to get your finger into the right position of. And most people who are really good at guitar don't look at their guitar.
I don't look at my guitar. My eyes are closed most of my time. But
Exactly.
it's because I play from the heart. It's totally different with an instrument.
You play from the heart.
The heart.
You saying my keyboard doesn't play from my heart?
No, yeah, no. I listen. I can't even begin to explain to everybody here
Begin.
Listen,
what I'm trying to say. But you feel something when you play an instrument. You speak through it. You don't.
did you
don't-
speak through it right away? The first time you picked up a guitar, you were Jimi Hendrix. You were just fucking.
I mean, I do have quite the natural talent for guitar, so I'm not going to
You do.
that.
Wow, and we have a guitar here in the studio, and he's picking it up. Wow, he's about to play a song for us.
Ooh, I'm feeling it.
Wow, that was really bad. Maybe you should take a guitar lesson. next
Yeah, I
time.
should take a guitar lesson. But the point is, it's totally different.
So you just picked up the guitar and you were naturally Jimi Hendrix, is what you're telling me.
Well,
You didn't practice at all. You didn't sit and learn how to play the guitar. You didn't do that?
Okay, I'm just going to say it. I understand that it takes time to learn and become accustomed to the keyboard. I'm just saying I do not care to do that at all whatsoever.
It's not worth it.
Why
It's
not?
not worth it.
because I have a perfectly good controller.
Yeah.
You could just use the controller on.
Yeah, you can plug it in on PC.
There's a lot of games that support it.
Okay, so tell you what, I'm going to make you I can't make you a bet because it doesn't work, but use a keyboard for everything. Control your TV with it. Drive your car with it.
Okay.
Okay, a vacuum with your keyboard.
Okay.
Do whatever. Just imagine how hard it would be to do all that with a keyboard and a mouse.
What is he
Type of
talking
command,
about?
vacuum the whole house.
I don't
It's
know.
done.
I mean, just
That sounds easier.
It just. I'm with Danielle. Controller all the way. Come
Because
on.
then even if you plug in your controller and you play on PC, it goes back to the people that are using a mouse and they're just like, oh, click your head, you're dead. And then I'm trying to play with a controller. So we're not on the same, it's apples and oranges.
Now, I don't want to give Overwatch any praise. However, on the PC, if you plugged in your controller, it gave your controller aim assist to keep you up on par with the people using mouse and keyboard. On
But
controller,
the fact that I know that is going to hurt me inside.
but it's not. But it's not necessarily that fact. So maybe when it comes down to gaming, is if there was, let's just say the superior thing out there is the PC. Sometimes the console's holding gaming back is because they need to make a weaker version of a game. But if you just had a PC and they said, well, it supports mouse and keyboard, and when you use a controller, it gives you the necessary features that a controller need to keep you competitive. Why can't that just be the thing that everyone buys? Why is there 1,000 consoles? Just everything on the PC.
I can wait. Wait. I can prove that control is better. The military thinks that control is better because don't they have some sort of tank or drone or something that they use the Xbox controller for?
Well, actually,
The-
let's get the military on the line here. So someone call the military.
Yeah, hello. This is the U.S. military.
Yeah,
we're shut
hi,
down right
how's it
now.
going?
Can you, please call us back later once
oh.
we're back open.
Oh shit! I forgot that they're closed for business.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wait for the next president.
I'll answer your question though.
Okay, good. Well, Vinny's got a stupid question, so I'm going to let him. Vinny, here, phone's for you.
Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
This is Corporal Payne.
All right. Major Payne, listen to me.
No, Corporal Payne.
Corporal Payne, listen
Don't
to me.
insult him. He's in the military.
I read on my Google feed, okay, that the military had some sort of Xbox controller controlling a tank or a drone or something that people, soldiers in training would train with. Is that correct?
All tanks and drones have their own proprietary control systems, not affiliated with Microsoft.
Well, he's wrong. I seen it. I literally saw a picture of it.
Corporal Payne is signing off.
All right. Goodbye, Corporal Payne.
So it sounds like
NES.
it sounds like you were wrong, Vin.
No, but I saw a picture. I'm just gonna make it up.
Yeah.
It just popped into my head, and I'm gonna say it out loud.
Yeah, that's how
I'm
lying works.
I'm telling you, I physically saw. I don't know what they control, but I know that they use an Xbox controller, and that means okay, they're not doing it with a mouse and keyboard. Boom, that's it. We win. Controller,
Remember
team
when I-
controller.
That's it. We won.
Remember when I told my story?
Hashtag team controller. Boom.
Boom.
About
It's
GTA,
done.
how I would use the controller to drive.
Yeah.
That's because that's where the controller is good for driving.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
But
And
Well,
everything.
I guess they hashtag won that one, so let's move on from there. How you guys feel about Fortnite?
Can we skip the subject?
We can skip the subject.
I think it's an important subject.
No, it is. It is. I hate Fortnite.
How about this? Let's do a Fortnite ham sandwich. I think that the Fortnite default skin deserves its spot in the new Smash Brothers. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Which one? Because there's a few default skins.
There's just the
The green one.
well, it doesn't matter, right? Like in Smash Brothers, you have like 8 different skins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So okay.
So 8 different variations on the default Fortnite
Is it
guy.
locked behind a paywall?
Well, yeah, it's $5.99 for the new character.
Oh, he's pay to win?
Yeah, he's pay to lose.
Oh, okay.
So
Let's think about this. She, whatever it is, deserves its spot, right? Am I wrong?
I mean, it's the biggest game
Why?
out this.
Why do you
it's-
think
it's-
it came?
It's the biggest game out there. It's on a Nintendo console now.
Yeah.
It's on.
It's on the Switch.
They're bringing in so much money. So it deserves their spot in the roster.
It does. I agree, but I don't know why it got
And
so
I think
big.
their moves would be fantastic. Think
Yeah.
of taunting, right? It does the Carlton or the floss.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
taunt.
Yes, but then you'll
It's
get
gonna
sued right after.
Yeah, it's gonna get the default clap one that it does.
Yeah. Well, imagine it's down special. It would just build that sideways staircase, and you could just hide behind it.
You could counter.
Yeah.
No,
well,
that would be a sick character in Smash.
it's-
You try to do a running smash and you go up the stairs on accident.
yeah. What does a neutral B be? BB.
Like, oh shit, I just landed. I can't find a gun. And you're just scrambling trying to find a gun.
So he presses B, and he's like, huh? He looks like Wario's animation where he's looking for the bicycle.
And then tries to pickaxe you to death.
What if
Loses.
just B was he just picks something up and it's a gun or it's just a Fortnite item?
Like it's
Zombie.
it's
like
random.
Peach's down B where she picks up, or Peach's regular B when she picks up the turnip, but it would be
That's
for
her down B.
guns and items and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it is down B. Yeah. Either way.
What about their save?
I don't know, but it would be the glider, and it would
Yeah.
shoot them right back up. Yeah.
So Fortnite character confirmed.
Yeah,
For
it,
Smash.
it really should be. Even though I hate the game, it should be.
Exclusive. You heard it here first.
Yep.
I'm gonna actually name this episode "Clickbait Fortnite Character Confirmed for Smash."
Actually,
Let's see how many
yes.
downvotes we get.
100% do
We'll be
that.
downvoted to oblivion.
Well, I like PUBG though.
I don't care if you like PUBG. PUBG's terrible.
It's okay.
PUBG's
It's
alright.
better than H1Z1.
PUBG Mobile.
Rob.
Stop looking at me and hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Fortnite's not off the hook yet. I know you said PUBG, and they're going to go together like the worst ham sandwich
Yes.
humanly possible. When Fortnite first came out, yelling back at pre-orders, Dan, what type of game was it?
What? Oh, it was like you were to play with different classes. You played with your friends, so it was a multiplayer, and you would build basically like death traps to fight off hordes of enemies.
Joe, did you play it?
Oh, totally.
Dom, did you play it?
Yeah, I did actually.
Did you like it?
It was.
Did you pre-order it?
I did not pre-order it.
Okay. Well, so we have a stupid idiot sitting next to me that pre-ordered it. And in his defense, the game was totally different. It was a full price $60 game. You pre-ordered it. It was called Fortnite. There was zomboids in it. You made traps. It basically just turned into just a survival crafting game. It was bad.
It's like Fortress Defense, but more sandboxy.
But when it came out, people put their money into that, unaware that Epic, was the developer
Yeah,
technically?
developer.
Epic, which was the developer, which was a partner with PUBG, which is where this battle royale came from. So
They were
Epic,
partners with PUBG.
yeah. So PUBG, I think, was using an engine, or they were working on something. But I think what was it? A Player Unknown left Epic Games. I think he was working on a mod or something. Left and created, not created. He innovented a word I just invented. He just made PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. It was a 100-man battle royale, and then Epic Games is kind of sitting there like, that's a good thing. We should do that same good thing in our game and make it freemium. And then Joe right here is like, wow, I can't wait for the next DLC or add-on for my Fortnite game that I got. I think he's still waiting because Fortnite just turned into a battle royale game, and anyone that bought the original game is sitting there with their dick in their hands thinking, why did I buy this if the free game came out? Because all of his money went to them releasing the free-to-play game, which is bullshit.
So bad.
Did they give you like some battle bucks or something for that?
Did they give you
I
KY?
think you got some V-Bucks to start, but honestly, you felt cheated. I felt like I was.
You feel like a cheap whore.
Yeah,
You were used.
definitely. I thought I'd purchase something else, and then I was stuck playing some shitty battle royale.
Yeah, and that's not fun.
The game was already bad, so I feel
Listen,
like that was your fault.
It looked good.
It was like a solid 6 out of 10.
Well, I pre-ordered. I know this is not Fortnite related, but to defend Joe, I pre-ordered Plants vs Zombies 1 and 2.
Idiot.
And those
Okay.
are great games.
Those were pretty fun.
Those are
it's
really
a different kind of
no.
game.
I'd say I know. I'm not trying to go on a tangent on Plants vs Zombies, but I did pre-order. I would say a cartoony kind of.
Yeah, but
you
it's
know,
like the art style is the same.
fun looking game. You know what I mean? In Joe's defense, and I think Plants vs Zombies though. Before I close this out, was really really good.
Well,
Both of
that's
them.
because that's an indie game.
Yeah.
And this part we have two branches. We have indie games and AAA games. And these indie games are they're trying. Like Minecraft was an indie game, PUBG is an indie game.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky can burn in hell
Jesus.
next to No Man's Sea.
Thank God I didn't buy that.
Is there a No Man's Land yet? Is there a type of game that kind of like fucked that one up?
Well, that's where the game's sold in GameStop. It's a no man's land.
Yeah.
Over in the corner.
Don't bring up GameStop because I hope that business just burns to the ground.
Really?
Well, they're shit.
Brick and mortar video game place. I'm not, touching myself over them, but I mean, it's nice to physically walk into some place for video games.
Right, and there are stores for that, and they're not GameStop.
Yeah. Where?
There's a couple. I'm not going to name towns because I don't want us to be located and then murdered.
Well, I think we called the government before, and I think they located us.
Oh,
Shit.
that's fine. They're closed right now, so
Oh,
it doesn't matter.
thank God.
But there are little brick and mortar video game shops around, and they are fantastic. They sell not only the new stuff, but everything back to like Atari, NES, SNES. They even sell like old action figures and cool stuff like that.
Yeah. Yes. Mom and pop stuff is cool, but I guess
Well-
Jeff's right.
Wait, you guys still go to GameStop to buy games? You don't buy them digitally? You
do
get a hard copy?
I've switched
No,
over.
I buy it digitally.
I
buy
switched over digitally, but I like going into a place that's video game oriented.
So I actually, quick little side story. We had to go up into a city to deal with some traffic tickets and stuff like that. So we decided to make it a vacation, me and my significant other, and we drove to Pennsylvania, which had this place called, I think, Warp Zone, which was the first of its kind. This was probably 5 years ago, mom and pop video game store, and literally drove maybe 200 miles out of the way to go to this place, and came back with a new Sega Genesis and like Power Ranger Megazords and all kinds of cool stuff. It's if you know how to run the mom and pop shop or you know how to run the business, don't sell just new games and pops and garbage like that, because they have Hot Topic for that.
Right. And Dan, when was the last time you went to a GameStop?
Like never, because I just leech off of all of your digital copies.
Oh, I forgot you're a scumbag. What about you, Joe? When was the last time you were in a GameStop?
Last month,
Why?
Christmas.
Fuck Christmas.
No, honestly, it's a painful experience. I remember as a kid, the two of us would go in there. We'd spend hours in GameStop when it first came out. It was like
And when
this-
Joe says the two of us, we're actually symbiotically attached to each
we
other.
are, yeah, we never got separated. It's scary. But yeah, it would just be like a treasure trove of just like all these like wonderful things that we can never buy because we didn't have money for it.
Well, GameStop used to be this celebration of games. When you walked in there as a kid, even when they used to do pre-orders, it was about solidifying your copy of that game. It wasn't to get some savey save fucky fuck card. It wasn't to get the $5 fill up KFC menu, whatever the fuck that is.
The Combat Wombat.
Combat
Power Armor.
Wombat. It used to be you pre-order your game, you're excited, and when you pick it up, they held a tournament or something. They did something fun. Now you walk in there, you're just an asshole. You say you want to buy something. Let's say you want to buy. I promise you, if you go in to get Anthem 1 week later and say, "Hey, can I get Anthem, a new copy of Anthem?" "Oh, we don't have any new copies. We only have new." Really? A 1 week old game? You only have used copies? Yeah.
Oh no, they'll give you the new, but it's opened and all the people have taken it home.
Yeah.
You don't like having something tangible that you can. How do you feel about returning games for trade.
It's a terrible idea.
Why?
Well, you lose money. I'm not
Because it's
saying
just,
you don't
like,
lose
it's just
money.
a waste of your like money and time, in my opinion.
But if you beat it,
yeah,
and
if you
never-
beat it and you're never going to play it again, I
that's
think
the downfall
more
of
so like
digital.
later, like years ago, that it was like an okay idea because it was you had a single player game. Once you beat the campaign, there was like nothing else to do except to go back and replay the content or find some like hidden Easter eggs, and so there wasn't much to do once you beat a game. So if you beat a game, you could just like return it. and get
switch.
some money.
I did switch to digital pretty much exclusively now, but I feel like I don't own it. I feel like I'm paying for the right to stream it.
You technically didn't even own the one you bought physically. You bought a licensed version that could be revoked in any minute.
Really?
Yep, it says it right on it.
Yeah,
Like
but
you're second you turn the game on, it says you're playing a licensed product from Kojima Productions that can be taken away with or without if you cheat. That's why you press X and scroll down to the bottom for 20 minutes and then press X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I accepted the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know
'Cause
that.
you
What do you
never
mean
read
they could
those.
just stop
He
it?
can't read. That's why.
I can't read.
It's a rule not. to read.
Joe knows me immediately. No, but seriously though, like, what do you mean they could take it away though? Like this is a foreign concept. to
Now
me.
I want you to do an experiment. Take your wallet out right now and look at your driver's license.
Okay.
On the back of it, you see how you don't own that and it actually belongs to New York State?
No, yeah, but if you fuck up though, they can take it.
You see how you don't own that? You see how it belongs to the federal government?
Yes,
Yeah.
but if you fuck up, they can take away.
Because it's a privilege. But the other thing is with games, be it digital media, physical media, you don't own it. You own a licensed copy of something.
Oh, yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, I get. Yeah, but but that's too technical, man. I'm. It's tangible in my hand. I own it. I know I don't own the IP.
You want to know what, Bungie? I saw Vinny cheating in Destiny 2. Ban him. And
Yeah.
let's see how much he
I can
play
report
his
you.
game.
I can report you. And I can report you every day for the next week, and they'll be like, oh, this kid reported him enough times for this thing, and now you're banned from the game.
And even though you bought that game, you no longer have the right
Yeah.
to play it now.
Even though you spent $280 on it.
I did.
Altogether.
I heard
did.
Vinny likes to swat people.
Nope.
Yeah.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You're a swatter?
I'm a swatter, a
That is
camper,
terrible.
a cheater, a modder.
How do you guys feel about campers in video games?
I feel like I have to sometimes because
Well, you're terrible.
No.
sometimes I feel like I have to.
I would hide in
Okay.
them a lot in H1Z1.
Ugh.
Why?
Yeah, why? Give me a scenario in which you need
When
to
I'm
camp.
defending and
Okay, me and Rob were playing Battlefield 5 the other day, right?
Yep,
and
I
we
was
were
like 40-1, and Vinny was like 0-46.
Okay, so that's why you needed to camp?
Yep.
No. Disregard everything he just said because that's not true. It wasn't that high of a difference. It was very high, but it wasn't that high.
It was
of
like
a difference.
38 in one.
Yeah, okay. So we needed to take this like artillery gun thing, and I said, well, I'm going to hide under it, and it's in the enemy zone. And he was kind of on the outside, like, wrangling them in. And as they came in, I was just killing them. And it was fantastic. And it worked out great. And that's a moment that you should camp.
Okay, so honestly, I don't even consider
Here's the
that
real.
camping.
Here's the real story to that, Danielle. He was hiding underneath an artillery gun, and there was like 6 Germans around him, and I dropped 6 dudes, and I'm like, Vinny, there's a guy here. He's like, huh? Look at my guy. I'm underneath the gun, and I'm just sitting there, basically like Keanu Reeves style, dropping everyone like I'm John Wick, and then he pops up like, did you see me get that guy?
that's Vinny
He's
in
tying
every
their
video.
shoelaces
listen.
together.
Well, me and Dom used to have this thing in Destiny where
Oh my God.
where when we would, because he would
Wait a
say,
minute,
boss.
you guys play Destiny?
well,
Yeah.
no, well,
You haven't
he
heard.
would say,
No.
like, what the fuck do you do? And like, like kind of like what you say to me. But the truth is that so when I killed a guy, I'd be like, that was me. Or
Yeah.
like when the boss
Yeah.
would go down and I know I got the last shot. I'm like,
that was me. That was
Yeah.
me. Like,
I
no,
have to
Vinny, that
defend-
wasn't you.
Yes.
That wasn't you. I promise you. I just used my super on him. He like
Oh, he's the
obliterated.
piece of shit player that we do all the work, and then he just kind of swoops in and like pokes the boss, like, "Oh, I did the thing."
Yeah.
I see how it is now.
I want to be.
He's a guy in Destiny that if you're down, he grabs the boss loot, doesn't res you, and then leaves, and then you can't pick up anything.
No, never.
They introduced a new game mode. It's called Gambit. So when you kill the enemy, it drops like a mote, and you have to run over and pick it up. So Vinny just runs around
take
after
'em
everyone
all.
kills all of them, and he's just like, "I got all your motes," and you're like, "Those were my motes."
Rob is like the ultimate glory stealer, though.
Yes,
in games.
Jeff, go for it.
So we played a lot of H1Z1 together.
A perfect
and
game that deserves all your money.
No.
I'd be
Horrible.
all your money, it's free. I'd be running around, fighting a dude, epic combat situation, and Rob would like walk up and just like one shot him in the head and do like the remaining 10% damage, and then do that for every guy I'm fighting, and be like, "What are you guys doing? You're not doing anything.
Guilty
I'm
as
running
charged."
around being the best guy. Meanwhile, we're all like beaten and battered, where you just came running around the corner."
Dude, the funny part is in my head, I'll be flanking and I'm like, and they're in my head, they're behind like a paper cup or something, crying, and their guns on the ground. They're like, "Oh my God, where's Rob to save us?" And I'm running around, "Guys, don't worry." Meanwhile, they're shooting at everyone. They're getting shot at. And there's like an apocalypse behind them. And I show up like, turn my vehicle, hop out of the car, start shooting a whole bunch of dudes. I'm like, "Guys, where the fuck were you?" And then one dude will shoot me from the back because it's a battle royale game. They can come from anywhere. And I meet him like, "Jeff, what the fuck? How come you didn't see that one guy? I just killed 10 dudes and you didn't see that one guy."
Because you told me to hide behind a single car tire in the middle of this woods, and there's 4,000 Germans surrounding me.
But Rob's totally the person that uses everyone for a meat shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you gotta.
Danielle, defend me though. I had some badass moments in fucking Battlefield 5.
Yeah, you were
I'm good in a vehicle.
because you're just
'Cause
a
I just-
wild card. We're like, well, what is he
Yeah.
gonna do now?
You never really
I
know what's gonna
smash
come
right
from
into
Vinny.
the tank and shit. Like I blow myself up. Them.
We were in a bit of a pickle, and Vinny decides the best option was to drive directly at the tank. In a vehicle. It was just like a plain old vehicle. And somehow, I don't even know, I can't even remember.
I won?
How, yeah,
I
we
was
won.
alive?
Yeah, it worked. It worked. He like flipped a tank over or something and it blew up. I don't even know how
That's
it
what the
happened.
fuck I'm
The
talking
best way to
about.
put Vinny's
Clutch.
style is there's a movie I suggest everyone watch it called Fury. There's this one guy who's basically the machine gunner / ammo dude, and they're fighting off a whole bunch of Germans. I'll just cut to the end. And he's like, "Oh, I got your ammo." And he pops his head out of the tank and is instantly shot in the head immediately.
That is me.
And it ends him. And that's basically playing
With Vinny.
with Vinny.
Yeah.
Vinny's the meat shield. And don't think I forgot about GameStop because they're our meat shield for this conversation right
Yes.
now. GameStop is the same thing. GameStop is the evil in the industry, and they're the evil in the brick and mortar stores. And that's why I don't like them.
Okay, but don't you want some place to walk into with shit that you like? Like they own Think Geek, right?
Yeah.
I love going in there. I mean, just seeing the collectibles shit that I'm into, and I got to be honest.
Just get that from Alibaba. You don't need Amazon can deliver that shit to you.
But I don't want it. Yes, I order every fucking thing on Amazon, but sometimes I want to go somewhere and see the shit. You know what I mean? In person, man, like hands on.
And I mentioned this before, they have the mom and pop brick and mortar stores, but what you got to remember in a retail store is you got to keep the heart alive. And the heart of GameStop is dead. It's just this corporate shrill that you come in there like, you want to pre-order these 7 games, you want this strategy guide, you want these power-up rewards, you want this GameStop credit card. It's just a nightmare.
That's
True.
what it's like
You don't
playing a
wanna shop
game
there.
nowadays. It's
You-
the same thing.
No.
You
I
go
know.
to the mom and pop shop, they'll be like, "Oh, what game are you looking for? What types of games are you into? Oh, thank you so much for coming in."
Do you think that they can stay open? You think they can generate enough revenue to stay open realistically?
I think if GameStop gets the fuck out of here and goes out of business, then the mom and pop stores will do fine because there's still a huge market for, as long as their prices are competitive, there's still a huge market for older games.
Well, they're well on their way to being bankrupt
Aren't they looking to be bought out?
by Blockbuster or something.
Or by like Hot Topic, I think, which they're already Hot Topic. So
well,
I like Hot Topic.
I just think that GameStop is the state of the gaming industry. Is there's so much money wrapped up in it with terrible business decision making where they're reaching for your wallet. So I don't know what's going to be for the future of game, but ultimately, do you think the gaming industry can be saved? Are we just getting too old to play these games, and that's why we're frustrated, or are games themselves at a point where the end user isn't thought about?
Do you still have fun playing games?
No.
Or
That's
do
not-
you
that's not
literally
true,
play
Rob.
games because there's nothing else
Hold
to
on,
do?
Jeff. What game was I playing? And you just
like Assassin's Creed 12, and all I would ever see is I would go to my friends list and be like, "Oh, I wonder what Rob's up to." And meanwhile, I'm not playing the game; I'm watching Verve or something. I go into the friends list and I'm like, "I don't want to say your screen name. I was just about to."
screen name. What is this? AOL.
Green name.
It was like XX Rob Lover.
Rob Lover.
No, that's gross. He's an egomaniac.
XX I love myself. XX
Yeah.
is at sea.
Yeah.
And it just said at sea for hours, and I'm just thinking to myself, what is he doing? Is
And I
he
would
just
see you in person,
on a boat?
and I'm like, Jeff, help me! I'm not having fun. I'm just doing things, but I paid money for this game.
You didn't have fun playing God of War?
I had a moderate amount of fun playing God of War. I'm gonna be honest here. I didn't hate it. I played on the hardest difficulty, like I said before, which ruined the game for me, just like I did with The
Yeah.
Last of Us. But I wasn't really a God of War fan. I played this one, and I was like, okay, that was a game.
All right, I'm going to call you out. Shadow of War, you absolutely love.
Oh my god! Exclusively for photo mode. You have a shrine of just like tortured orc photos.
Well, yeah.
You love that game.
And I know it's going to get flack because that game had loot boxes in it. Like it was evil. It was a single player game with loot boxes in.
It made no sense.
It didn't make sense, but for me, the hidden side was there was a lot of passion in it, and the orcs all have these personalities, and they say horrible things. There was this one time I broke this one orc's mind by doing something called shaming them, and he just kept going, "No, where is it? Where is it?" And he went throughout this map, and I lost track of him. And I think Joe was over at my apartment one time, and he was watching me play. The dude comes back, and all you hear from the distance is, "Where is it? Where is it?" And I poisoned a barrel, and he's looking all over the place. And when an orc captain, which is what they're called, dies, it zooms in and shows you how they die. So he's going, "Where is it?" And he dunks his head into the poison barrel, saying, "Where is it?" and drowns himself in poison because he was looking for it. That's amazing.
Did you ever shame a guy so much that he just like doesn't talk anymore?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a great game. I got to play that game now again.
It's a
Play
fun
it.
game.
Play it. So what I want to say after all this is, can this be saved? Are we too old to be playing these type of games, or just games in general, or are games getting worse?
I think as long as you keep, and I said this before and I'll say it again, you got to keep the heart in games. The biggest game, the reason I haven't been playing too much lately is because I'm waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. It was canceled.
I have never.
Well, I
played
heard
a
that there
Kingdom
was
Hearts game.
this apocalyptic moon happening on Monday.
Yeah.
So the apocalypse is probably going to happen before Kingdom
Well,
Hearts 3 comes
I heard that there was going to be 4 giants as long as you have an ocarina and they can catch that moon.
out. The moon's not going to fall. Don't worry.
Okay.
I've never
Just
played
ask,
a Kingdom
just
Hearts
ask the carpenter.
You didn't play a Kingdom Hearts game?
Never.
They're great.
They're amazing. You're missing
They are
out.
great.
Never once.
Play this one.
No idea what it's about.
Oh, okay.
Me
So
either.
let me help him out. A locksmith loses his key. His son finds it. He becomes the greatest locksmith. He finds some dude with long hair and a big ass sword, beats him. Dude calls down a meteor, kills some girl. You talk to Goofy. Mickey Mouse is the king.
Wow.
You thought
welcome.
Goofy was dead and cried at one
Yeah,
point.
you did. It
Gosh.
was sad.
Can anyone do a really good Goofy impression?
That was pretty good. Gorsh.
Gorsh.
That's it. Everyone can just say Gorsh.
I don't know. I forgot.
Sora, we gotta go get the Keyblade of Justice.
That sounded like if Vinny got brain damage. Hey, it's me, Vinny again.
It's me, Vinny.
But okay, so Dom, wrapping this up, what do you think? Can we save
games,
this?
I think games can be saved. You have great single player games.
Think of it like this: can games be saved in 2 respects? I want these publishers and developers to make money. I want them to make money because I want them to have that passion
Right.
and the wherewithal to go. Because as games come out that cost $500 million,
Yeah, it's an insane amount of money.
so
to-
where's
to
the
make
balance?
it.
Where do you think? Where's the balance there? Where can we get the love of games and the money
I'm
together?
hoping that like we get an answer from Bungie because now that they split from Activision, now they're like kind of on their own. I'm hoping that you can consider them an indie developer now because they're solo and it's just them. And I hope that they can figure out a formula to keep players engaged in the game, release good story content where they actually put their heart into it, and keep people playing the game that they're passionate about.
Well, I hope they become like a reference point for other developers if they do the right thing.
Yeah.
My faith is in.
I mean, I still
Bungie.
have faith in other developers. CD Projekt Red, Santa Monica Studios. Like, there's a bunch of great developers out there that still make amazing content. I'd rather, like, I love Destiny because it keeps me playing, but I'm replaying God of War, the new game plus, and I'm playing it on the hard mode, and I just fell in love with it again. I'm like, the new game plus offers like a whole new experience to the game by giving you like new armors and new like. And just making you feel like a complete badass when you play the game, even on like a super hard difficulty.
So you think it's up to a lot of stuff is on Bungie's shoulders right now. Someone that can make a game, and because
I think they could be like a pivotal.
Bungie has
point.
been passing the buck to Activision now. So now that the eyes are off of Activision and back on Bungie, saying things like, "Well, if Bungie was in control, this wouldn't happen."
I don't necessarily like Bungie's definitely made mistakes. I don't think that it's not going to go without mistakes.
Looking
I don't
at
think
you,
it's gonna-
Halo 5.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, they didn't have any part of that.
Who made Halo 5?
343 Studios.
That's what I said. I said 343 Studios. How dare you?
Yeah, but
Hands off for that.
yeah. So I think that if they can kind of maybe find a new formula, and that they might be able to save kind of like the MMO games and stuff like that. But I think you still have great like single player games. Kingdom Hearts is coming out. That's I mean, I don't think that's gonna be bad. How can it be bad?
So, Dale, someone with the most experience in this, I see you have a Gears of War tattoo on your forehead, almost like the mark of the beast. How do you think? How would you, oh blessed one, save this industry?
Oh, it's all thrust upon my shoulders.
Yeah, you and Bungie.
No, I mean, first of all, that's news to me.
What's
so
what's news to
the
you?
whole thing with Bungie and Activision. So
What do you mean? You
She
didn't know about that?
it.
No.
Do you know what Bungie is?
Yes.
What do they
It's
do?
Affiliated with
No one help
Destiny
her.
in
No
some
one help her.
capacity.
No one help her. What?
They're the developer for Destiny.
No, they're actually the beta testers.
He's lying.
I am lying.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome.
No, I don't know. I don't think the gaming industry is ruined. I think just like any business, they respond to what consumers are willing to pay for. So I think it may be up to the consumers to kind of respond accordingly in terms of limiting microtransactions, not participating. But I don't know how anyone would necessarily orchestrate something like that. But I know that I don't participate in things like that
Why not?
because I don't need to.
Because you're a
I'm
fucking
great.
succubus that.
That's true.
I don't think the consumer knows what they want. Like we just said it before. We're like, oh, Vinny's like, there's too much content in The Witcher, and then you play a game like this, and you're like, there's not enough content in this game, and it's like, I'm not happy with this, and like, even like following. I know I keep referencing like Destiny, but I play it a lot, and I keep up with it. But the community and Bungie are very like transparent. They keep in touch with each other, and they keep talking, and the players will say they want this. They'll get that, and then they'll be like, "We didn't really want that. That wasn't good. We didn't like that. Can we try this now?" And then they're like, "All right, we try this." And they're like, yeah, that's still not it. We don't really like that either." Like, so.
I think
it's hard.
ultimately.
I think
What you said is true. The players don't necessarily know what they want, which is what kind of happened to Overwatch. Overwatch was more pure. It was about what the developers liked, even though it was a failed MMO turned into this. But the players were saying, oh, we need this, or this doesn't work. And ultimately, it's not. Some players know what they want, and that's why there's professional beta testers and things like that. But the masses don't know what they want, and they ask for something, and then it's bad. So I think there needs to be a lot more wisdom out there. The developers need to be wise.
And I want to just real quick go back to what you said about you want them to make money too.
Yeah.
I think we should really consider the value of a game. If you're going to release some unfinished garbage, release it for $20, $30. I'll be fine with it if it's missing half the content. But if you're going to release a masterpiece, I don't know, maybe not masterpiece, but fantastic game like God of War or even Spider-Man was great. I would pay more for a better game. So I would pay $100 for God of War.
Right.
But I'd pay $30 for Battlefield.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
why
where-
it's $30 now.
Yeah. So now I'll probably actually play Battlefield if it's $30.
Yeah. So ultimately, everyone out there, we want to make sure that you use plenty of wisdom when you're looking at these games. Please no microtransactions, and that's looking at new developers and publishers. Use wisdom, and our resident wizard that knows a lot about wisdom, Vinny, is going to take us home.
Well, unfortunately, it is game over on episode 13, but don't turn off the console just yet, because we have to finish with the words of wisdom for the week. Truthful words are not beautiful. Beautiful words are not truthful. Good men do not argue. Those who argue are not good. Those who know are not learned. The learned do not know. And on that note, I am the... Shit, what the fuck am I doing?
I don't know,
On
man.
that note...
What note? Ding!
No, on that note, I want to thank everybody for coming along this ride down video game lane with us. And just want to remind everybody who is specifically listening on YouTube that we God damn it, are still on the road to 100 subs.
We still have that loot box out there.
We're at 73, which is fantastic. Specifically on YouTube, and we want to thank all 73 of those. But we need the rest to start kind of coming along.
Step your game up, man.
Step your game up.
Buy some of our microtransactions.
These
and
people
pre-order our loot box.
Listen, these people have no fucking clue how cool this mystery box is. And if
Well,
they
we had to
just-
take out that hamster you put in there because it died.
Yes, so we're gonna replace him with something else, obviously.
Okay.
But we the minute we hit 100, these people, they're gonna be like, help us get there, because they're gonna go fucking crazy when they see what's in.
And there's
this box.
only one mystery box.
No, there's only one.
Just one.
And you know what? It's not going to be hard to win it, and we're not going to reveal exactly how they're going to do it until we start getting closer. But they're going to want to help us get to this point, and then and because it's going to go viral. It's fucking fantastic. So please help us get there on YouTube. Definitely share this with people that you know, like, and want to come along and have great conversations with us every week. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ask Lemme, and email us at lemmeaskyouaquestion13@gmail.com. Any questions you have or any topics you want to have us talk about, just shoot us an email and let us know. We love reading them. We get some weird ones that we don't ever talk about on the air, but other than those, I mean, let's try to keep it E for everyone. So anyway, I'm the Vin Man, and I'm out, and keep gaming, everybody, and Destiny's awesome.
I want to say a special thanks, shout out to our resident Joe guy for joining us today.
And also a special shout out to Vape Man 42069.
There was a
Prison Body 8720.
There is a YouTuber, an up and coming. I don't know if even up and coming is the word, but there is a YouTuber.
He's coming.
Yeah, there is a YouTuber out there that does vape reviews.
Does he do vape tricks? I love vape tricks. Vape tricks are so cool.
And no, he's got a few hundred subscribers, and I guess he's a fan of the show, because we had gotten a shout out from him on an email, and when we went to go check out his channel.
What's his channel again?
Vape Madness New York.
Vape Madness New York.
Yeah, and when we went to go check out his channel after he emailed us, he threw up a link to our podcast on all of his videos. So we just want to thank him for doing that. So if you're into vaping and that's kind of what you do, definitely go check him out, because he has some really, really, really cool reviews that he does
What
up there.
flavor
So
was
thank
that?
you very much.
There's a blueberry gumdrop, raspberry red.
Booger.
Well, thanks for joining us, Joe. Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good.
And remember, stay curious.
Amen.
Amen. Later.
Bye, friends.